Hello, sound check, check, check. One, two, three. Hello, sound check.
Philippine Marketplace, and one C Coffee, of course, also the Powerade, and Wilkins. Ayan. Handa na ba yung introduce natin ng intermediate women climbers natin? Ito, mainit-init ng labanan yesterday, but I'm sure today will be way more exciting. First up in the lineup, may I call on Angelica Camacho! Yan. Angelica has been climbing for a few years now. Very glad to see her back on the competition circuit. Next up, may we introduce Choleng Ignacio! Yan, may fans now. Choleng has only started quick time in 2007 and is a very renowned artist. Next up, we have Abby Ryan. Round of applause for Abby also competing in the 2024 when I would host natin para meet man yan ngayon, competing with the big girls na. Next up, we have MC Cruz Herrera. Yan, yung Philippine climber. Natin, nag-always na, one
For women.
Next up, we have Jack Ornera. Very strong climber. And of course, last but definitely not the least, Sandy Q.
Stay on the stand. Stay here.
Of course, the youngest
Sige, look lang yung names.
Yan. Alright, round of applause again for
Out.
the women finalists. Grabe, grabe.
Sponsor tayo, sponsor.
Sinabilian yun.
Okay, we will start class viewing in a bit.
At least na-check.
So please go to your respective judge. Hey there, respective
Patay sa...
booth center. Please go to your respective booth center. Yeah.
Ayun na,
By
start
the
na
way,
tayo.
these are head booth center. Round of applause for Jack, guys.
We can go full sponsor. Yeah.
Ay,
Thank you.
Half lang yung pag-climb.
I'm so sorry. Should we start?
Alright, the mass viewing is...
I guess you can because this is their
Yeah.
observation
Sige, sige.
for the live stream.
Okay. Thanks.
Mass viewing is when the competitors put on
Ay,
their
sige,
finals
game na
from
kami.
them. And they are given 2 minutes to explore their
Live.
problem.
Okay, hello, and good morning. Welcome to Beehive Circuit Makati for the 2023 Boulder Nationals. We're taking a look at the intermediate women's finals. And I'm Beato Bonco, your host today, with my co-host, Erica Gana.
Yes, hello. Good morning to everyone.
And right now we have our competitors taking some time to read the routes together. So Ikay, you've also been a competitive climber in the past. So can you tell us a bit about what's happening right now?
Okay, would love to. So, at the moment, as you can see, all the ladies, all the finalists are out, and they are sizing up what they're going to do this round. So this is called the mass viewing session. Now, around this time, there is a specific time limit. I think roughly around a minute per problem, and the head route setter will show up to guide them where the specific boulder problem is located. So right now they're currently at W1. It's the slab section over here. Now they have a minute to figure out what beta they need to do, and in the great sense, they are actually able to converse with each other just to assess together what they should how they read how they read the sequence.
So in your experience, okay, in your experience, like when you're actually like looking at the boulders together with the other competitors, are you sharing data?
In fact, yes, quite. Actually, and there's a really great sense of camaraderie in that sense where everyone is equally confused initially. So might as well share the pain together. Especially around this time in the morning where you're just like the brain is totally not warmed up yet. So you'll notice that everyone's feeling the starting holds at the moment. Here's a rule about mass viewing: you cannot fully climb. You can't really start or like do a full stance on the starting position. Okay, but you can touch and separately the starting holes just to get a feel of, and analyze what the prediction that you will do once you get into the wall. So this definitely saves time, your climb time, um, thinking of what you need to do initially. Back yesterday during the intermediate qualification rounds, though they had the Phoenix format,
Mhm.
they had plenty of time to take a break and reassess whatever they need to do in the next attempt. So for an isolation format, during the final, you are provided a mass viewing, which ultimately gives you a time to absorb and memorize in advance. So it's actually kind of great that in that way.
So I think one thing about one skill required for a good competitive climber is also pretty good memory, right? Like
Ah,
photographic memory would help to
that
keep four problems in
yes,
mind.
that is true. That is very true. So again, the mass viewing gives you that guide, right? So it does help where you internalize the feel of the hold, the imagining yourself that you're doing the climb without even trying. But in the hope that it lessens the nerves, unang-una. And at the same time, once you get into the wall, you will just have a bit more time to tweak it. If in case the original beta that you had in mind, it didn't work the first time. So it's kind of great that way. Have you encountered trying or simulating this kind of format ever?
Me, no. I am just a regular climber, but I love watching really good climbers climb.
Oh, just a regular one.
And I talked to one of the setters a while ago, Purge. He let me know that the interesting thing that they try to do with this round of boulders is to alternate between what they think are easy and hard boulders
Ah,
for the
that's right.
competitors.
That is right.
So they expect like W1 would have not flashes but sends. W2 a bit more difficult because it's more burly. W3, which is on the other side, the
Yep.
pink one, requires very precise body positioning
Mm-hmm.
because it kind of transforms into a slab with a large super volume. They call
Yeah.
it the super volume.
I was talking to the judges on how to describe this volume. So they basically said, you know what, just in a lighter way, it looks like a Toblerone container.
Yeah.
So that's its shape, its geometric shape, an elongated pyramid volume. That's the feature of this leftmost side of the wall. So we will just hopefully you can get that audience. That's how we're describing the volume later on during the day. So yes, it's a vertical wall with a volume feature, that leftmost side right there. I did notice that it also has the pink and white dual text holds. So again, there's another challenge of texture where there's only a really strictly select part of the hold that you can grip, unless you can really rely on yourself to step or grip on the smoother sections of that dual text. So
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
see. Well, this is a really actually reading the routes is very like very curious to see how they all interpret the sequences of each problem.
Yeah, it will be a big test of their on-site ability
Yes, that's right.
because you can be like super strong. You can be a very strong project-based climber. Like your grade can be higher than the other competitors, but if you can't on-site things, you're going to lose. So this is a good test of
Yeah.
problem solving. The most efficient way, the fastest way to climb these problems.
That's right. So it's not, right now. It's nice to see all the girls are how do we call it? They're de-stressing a little bit, unloading any nerves as they are conversing with each other with what they need to do on the boulder. Um, yeah. At the time that I was competing, although it's more on the lead climb category, there was also a mass viewing scenario, but it was nice to see everyone do the do the climbing interpretative dance mode, and because it's a lead wall, it's a lot taller. So some of them brought their binoculars to really look into the upper part of the section, and it's cool. It's cool how we were assessing what we needed to do together,
I
and
imagine it must be harder to read the route if it's lead route because there's a lot more moves, right? Bouldering is typically just 3 to 5 moves,
That's
right?
right. I think from in that perspective. Oh wow, and the buzzer is up. That's kind of wild. So just the finish, yes. In that sense, I think it trained me. It trained my memory skills a little bit better in analyzing probably like two or three boulder problems in one. In that sense. So it's cool. I enjoy it profusely actually, like reading, route reading.
Root reading,
Yeah,
very,
so
very
yeah.
important.
It also made me learn how to accept that maybe perhaps there's still a right or wrong scenario, especially when you're there on the spot during the comp proper mode. So it's like it also teaches you na okay, I just need to accept that this isn't the ultimate sequence. There's still a thing I can tweak later on.
Right, right.
Okay,
It's
so
about adjusting on the
yes.
fly,
Yep, that's right.
and we're about to start.
May we call on our first finalist of the morning, Angelica Camacho.
And coming out, we
Sino
have bib
Victor
405,
Camacho.
Angelica Camacho, our first climber of this leg of the competition.
Alright.
So
So, Angelica is part of an org in UP
yes.
called GRIP. It's a climbing org.
Yep, she is representing her org well. She's currently wearing the shirt for her
Come on
final.
guys, let's cheer for
So
Macho.
she's making her
Macho
team
is
proud.
rocking
So we have some of her org mates here with us today. A few of them are also part of the staff in full support. Actually, UP Grip is really an org that supports outdoor climbing, mountaineering, all things related to climbing in general. And I noticed even after they have graduated, they've been alumni of the they still go back to the
Speaking of
sport.
that, is she still in college?
Ah, no, she's working.
Oh, she's working. I thought
Yes.
because she's part of UP's org. So you just mentioned that even after you graduate, you can still
Yeah.
be part of
Yeah,
the
from
org.
what I remember, I think there are some alumni or even that you can like, register into the org, but I don't know for sure. That was a few years ago, so update me again, guys. Whoever's hearing this commentary, my bad. But yes, so she again. I see them often. They are still constantly learning their craft, enjoying climbing. They do gym hop often. They visit my home gym in Cubao area in Power Up
Power Up
Centro,
Central.
but they go everywhere. They originally UP Grip. I'll call it their playground. What is in Power Up Tandang Sora QC as well. It's because it's technically closer to the campus also. So it's yeah the TS branch is the original and the first of Power Up to be built, and is also catering to the university at that time.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's a PE. It's actually a PE in the University of the Philippines.
Right, right.
So I guess that's also why a lot of
Climbers are from UP, right?
yes, they 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 were enlightened. Thank you to the PE class, which I would have loved to have eventually. But I think all the more now that there are plenty of gyms across the capital, we will hope to have a lot of campuses incorporating that into their institutions. That'll be great. So sorry, let's go back
Yeah.
to Angelica
So
on the climb.
it's interesting to note that our host is calling her Macho because her family name is Camacho.
Ah,
So I
yes.
guess we can refer to her as Macho also on the live stream. So
Okay, we can try. We can try. But yeah, so
or Abby, yeah. So Abby's having a bit of trouble getting to
Angelica,
the.
Angelica.
Sorry, oh Angelica, right?
Oh, Angelica na.
Angelica
Pasensya
Camacho
na,
is
it's early in
having
the
a bit
morning, ah. Yeah.
of trouble getting to um, the next hold, which is two volumes opposing each other. So that leaves a crack in the middle. If you can take a look at that hole, that means she needs to precisely put her fingers into the crack.
Ah, yes, that's right.
Yeah, in order to shift her weight to that right foot.
Oh, I think she's
Mm,
thinking about a different way this time, perhaps.
I really think she needs to use the crack. It would
I
be very difficult, I think, to just rely on your feet to get to the right part
Yeah, that's
of
right.
that problem.
Okay, shall we do our own beta analysis, or we'll just maybe for a bit? Or yeah, would you like to try? Let's do a beta guessing for us.
Alright. Thank you so much, Angelica Camacho. Welcome Choleng
But
Ignacio.
all right, so up next we have Soleil Ignacio, lovingly known as Choleng in our community, and she dons a shirt that displays her artwork, her one of her beautiful illustrations. So,
Yeah, she's actually an artist,
yes,
right?
yes, she is, and I do recall. I told this already. I fangirled like a few days ago with her, wherein she's definitely well known in the art community, especially with her beautiful portraiture designs. In fact, I discovered her name years ago, before I even met her here in the gym, where she collaborated with a local beauty brand. So their compacts have her design printed on the packaging. And it's super super pretty. Yet at the time, I just didn't want to get makeup that much. But again, it's stuck in my mind. She has a very memorable aesthetic.
Choleng getting making some progress on the route.
That's right.
Let's see what she does with the crack.
Yeah, okay. So she's doing a more of a balance
Ooh.
sequence. Okay, so I think we just saw two different uh, betas here from Angelica on the first one where she was attempting to go straight up, where we have Choleng trying to see if she could tilt her weight to the right side. So I feel this might be a more interesting take. Just so
What do you think? Should they go up or should they go right first?
Okay, so here's what I collected earlier this morning, just looking at them. So I was kind of reading it going to the right.
Okay.
So it's really how do we call it? A compression, a balance,
Yeah.
yeah, a more of a balance test. So you have to balance on the two half crystals
Right.
that she is going across. Therefore, she might have to tilt her body a little bit more and trust that tilt to catch the edge.
You're right. You're right. I think the crack might be a bit too high
Yes,
in
that's
terms of
right.
reach.
Perhaps yes, that's it. There, see, there she
Very nice.
trusted
Very nice.
that right foot and that but body tilt going to the lower part. Now it's a matter of matching and reaching and the
Oh,
zone,
nice.
and
She
she
gets the
did it.
zone.
Now she has.
Choleng gets the zone.
So again, this problem does not have a lot of holds whatsoever. Nothing. And when I mean by not a lot, there's only one particular hold at the starting volume. That's it. Now it's all a bunch of angles and
Nice.
extra play, and she's getting it. That's it. She matched the crystal and put her foot. Before that, she did put her foot first on the starting trim, and now she's getting the final hold. Come on, Choleng.
So she needs to lock off
Yes,
on
that's
those
it.
arms.
She needs to do
And
a
press down
solid, a
with
solid
her
rock
left
over
foot.
with a good lock off on the right hand. Yes, trust that tap. Getting a full standing.
And the
And
crowd
she
goes
gets
wild.
it.
We have a top for Choleng Ignacio.
Yes,
First stop of W1.
so good. Nice one, Solek. That was good. That was good. So she got the beta, the intended beta for the same. So that's great. I'm excited. This is starting to look good. So we now have Abby Adongayan. We now have Abby Adongayan up on our first problem.
So Abby's from Iloilo,
Yes.
and she's a regular competitor, especially when she was in the youth division.
Yeah, that's right.
So she took second place in the last youth nationals that was held here, which was in 2019. Now she's competing in intermediate.
So their home gym is called Adventure Central. Okay, and we visited that place like a few years back. And she and her sister, Justine, there was one time, I guess I've mentioned this to her so many times because it's such an amazing feat to me that she and her sister, at a younger age, were already lead climbing and belaying each other. That's their training in the gym. And I'm like, again, what were we doing at their age? But not that they're lead climbing and belaying. So they really started young and never lost that joy of climbing since. So now I think they really want to push for, they definitely really want to push to join the adult circuit. And maybe, hey, let's see, Asian Cup, World Cup. I'm looking forward to their growth. But they got plenty of time. They also are close to an outdoor area in Iloilo. It's called Igbaras. Also a really beautiful place. So I mean, they got the best of both worlds to train for climbing. They can choose what they want to do. It's a matter of how they time it in their life, I guess, because she's a teenager and all that. So yeah, it's good.
She's having a bit of trouble in the balancey start, trying
Yeah.
to get to the right hand volume there.
Yeah, that's right. I think
So that part is very taxing on, or you need to have a really good balance because um, it's a slab, but you don't really have a lot of holds.
that's right.
So I think the beta really is like using a bit of the edge of the crack to shuffle your way to the right, right? Like I don't know
Yes.
if you can do it like directly, like just going straight
Straight up.
right.
Straight right, you mean? You mean like up.
No, she's doing it actually.
She's slowly tilting. I think it was a matter of adjusting her distance,
Right.
her footwork distance, and her fingers towards the wall, and she committed to that tilt. I think it was it. I think the important thing is trusting the tilt and keeping her left foot on the starting foothold. And it was a clean one just because her right foot didn't swipe the floor, and I think that's great. It's also okay, and now she's thinking of what she needs to grip on the second or rather third to the last hole. So you gotta trust that left foot. Let's do a big rock over, girl. Come on. Let's see. That jib right there on her left foot is the thing that will make or break the move. She has to trust that left foot rock over. Come on. There, she's
Very
there.
nice
She's getting it,
rock.
knocking it, and she did it.
And we have a
And
top
she
by
did
Abby
it.
Arunayan, making Iloilo proud.
Yes. You go, baby girl. You go. Yeah. This is really great. I feel like you might enjoy this lab problem if it stays here. I might get into it. Also just because it doesn't feel like it's too scary. Like just me personally.
Yeah. I think there's not a lot of like things you can hit on the way down if you fall.
Yeah, that's right. It's like maybe there's like a hint of scariness, but not enough to psych me out that will keep me stuck on the upper part of the wall. It actually, I feel like the second and third to the last one kind of forces you to push.
Yeah.
To want to go to and finish the top rather than where you're just standing and you don't see the height or like the safety anymore. Like, yeah, that's the one thing I'm not a fan of when it comes to slabs. Okay, so
Right.
we now have Alexine
We have
Rivera.
Maxine, Bib 407. She's a regular here at Beehive. And actually, her Barkada, or the group she climbs with, is also a pretty regular group here at Beehive and CCM. So they're up and coming strong intermediate climbers.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
most of them are competing in inter women's and inter men's.
Yeah, that is true. They definitely enjoyed um, the problems or the constant change of problems when it comes to the beehive. Therefore, making them learn plenty of beta on their way there, and at the same time, the progress that they develop escalates a lot faster than maybe old generations of climbers here in the community. So it's good. It's good. Now, another to add is that not only is she a climber, I think she's also a
Weightlifter.
weightlifter. Yeah. So initially, or at least maybe if I heard about that like many years before, I would think, huh, weightlifting and climbing? Are you sure it doesn't work? And apparently, it really does. It definitely helps strengthen your body and
Yeah.
condition it so that you also minimize injury. And bonus gives you the extra power you need in order for you to work on a problem. It
I think especially overhanging burly problems, right?
Yes, correct. So
So
let's
W2 and W4 maybe
might
later.
be up or
We'll
running.
see.
That's right. That's right. So it's actually nowadays. I guess with the new gen, they are trying to incorporate having an active rest that also requires a bit of maybe a gym workout. So weightlifting, maybe
Calisthenics,
calisthenics. That's right. So
yoga.
yeah,
Yoga is the most popular I think I've seen. Climbers cross train,
yeah, that's true.
cross training,
You
and
wa-
cycling.
I also cycling, yeah. So you'll see like different things improved on. So there's you have endurance for cycling and also muscle strength. You have yoga, same. Everything all related to muscle strength, but with a bit more of a twist. Like you have muscle strength, you have flexibility, mobility. You also have explosive movement improvement, something like that. And yeah, and also strong grip as well. So yeah, it's really interesting. So let's see how Alexine
Nice.
is doing. She
She
is
gets the shuffle over to the right.
yes carefully, and I think she's also sizing up that sketchy looking foothold. Perhaps when you're there, it does not look like it seems safe initially because you'll notice that the angle of that pentagon is quite shallow.
Yeah. It's sloping outwards, right? So you really need to put a lot of rubber on it, surface
Yeah,
area.
that's true. If not that, there's a possibility where they really have to trust the tilt at the same time. It's the tilt and the grip of that half crystal. So from there, they need to let their upper body lean, and so that their right arm and shoulder will lock off on that half crystal,
Right.
and in turn will help the right foot stabilize a little bit or stabilize the smear a little bit more once she's fully tilted there. Oh, oh no, but she's run out of time. Okay, nice try, Alexine. You got plenty more problems to go. So in the meantime, they are brushing the holds. Okay, and I think up next she is walking sideways facing the audience, our next climber, in a very bubbly manner.
We have Ja Orna, bib
Yes.
409, also a regular beehive climber and a
Okay,
friend
and
of Alexine.
I think she's going back. Lol.
What's happening?
It's okay. The timing is off right there because I think we'll just let everyone clear up
I
on the
think they're
first
taping
walk.
some to the pads.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Making it extra secure for the girls and keeping it safe for all of us. Yeah, so we have okay. Okay, they're double checking. So we'll take a quick break, guys. Oh no, what? I'm so sorry. I think it's all cleared up. Now we're waiting for
And
yeah,
we have Ja
Orna.
Orna coming out, bib 409.
Yes.
I think now they've fixed the gap in the mats. So they need to tape the mat sometimes because it's really dangerous if there's a hole in the mat and your foot slips inside. So they just want to make it safe for the climber.
That's right, that's right. Now, she's looking laser focused on what she needs to do for this first problem. Now, a while ago, you'll notice that they kind of have to walk backwards or sideways. If there is, because as a protocol, our finalists cannot walk forward while looking at the problem. They need to walk sideways, and they can only turn towards the wall once the timer starts.
It's so they can't see the other problems.
No,
What's the protocol? Why is the protocol
I
like
think
that?
it's just more of a formality in a sense that you're also just facing the audience, saying hi, presenting yourself, whatnot. And at the same time, um, you don't you keep an equal time for all your with all your competitors. Na you just start on the route around the time limit. So basically, keeping it fair for everyone. Because sometimes there could be a climber that's like really good at reading, and while walking, you can notice their eyes are just staring at the problem. So you could probably count that reading part into their climbing time if
I
you think
see.
about it.
I see.
Do I
It's
sound
it's
paranoid? I
interesting.
don't know, but I mean, you gotta hand it to a person sometimes. They could be more observant than we think. So there. So I think just to keep it fair in terms of the time limit, 4 minutes for everything. Reading, climbing. That's why walk backwards until the timer starts, turn to face the climb, and there, official. Boom, go.
Boom.
Just and also because they've already gotten the mass viewing prior anyway, so it's like, yeah, just do that. And for the benefit of the audience, the climber could be like a showman. They can dance their way through their nerves and give them a show. So I don't know.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh.
Can't
So
quite get the transition over to the
yeah.
Pentagon. So what Ikai mentioned a while ago was that for you to take the first side-facing crystal, you need to have a lot of your weight on the right already, so it
Yeah.
becomes positive.
Yep, that's it. There. That's what she did. So she got her upper body tilting, following that crystal, and that's where she was able to let her right leg get it through that pentagon safely. And she goes
Very
up.
nice. She gets the zone.
She gets the zone. Let's go, queen. Now it's a
She just needs to
matter.
rock over to that crack
Yeah,
on the left.
she's
Very
definitely
nice climbing by
she's definitely
Jacqueline.
discovering that she know that her toe hook actually works in that angle right now. She is feeling more confident, and she's putting her left foot first on the jib, and that is great. That is it. Now we go for our final move. Come on.
Oh,
Oh,
she gets it, but
come
can she
on.
match the final hold?
She's got the reach.
She
Just a
needs to
little more
needs
in
to commit a bit more.
inching her way through. Come on, girl. Yes. That's it. That's it.
Very
Oh,
nice.
she
She gets
got
the
it.
top of the pole.
She got it. Oh my gosh.
Gets the top.
That is one less problem shaken off her from her nerves right now. Okay. Okay. So I think
Alright.
she's okay. That's it. That's good. That was nice. Oh my
Very good
gosh.
climbing by Jawarna.
Yeah, really good.
So far we've seen 3 tops for
Yeah.
and out comes the crowd favorite, Sandy
Yeah.
Key.
Miss High Energy Junior, Sandy Key. So, as I mentioned, Miss High Energy Junior, she may not look it right now, but oh my gosh, when she performs in a comp, she's at it for at a 1,000. It's quite insane. It's quite really like solid.
So Sandy's describes herself as an overall angsty teen. Very funny way.
Thank you for that self-awareness moment. Ay, nako.
But what I've noticed so far during the qualifications of intermediate women is I think of the competitors, she has really good route reading and very good footwork. So I
Yes.
expect W1 should be possibly a cakewalk for her.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Let's see, let's see.
Very nice.
Okay, she's very composed. Keeping it composed on the starting hold. She's got a good balance on her footwork and some steady match. That
Sticky
Yeah.
feet, very good.
Yeah.
Oop.
Oop. Yeah. So I think looking at that bar foothold right there, it definitely feels hard to initiate the move, the traverse, especially because it's also one of the first problems that they have to do in the morning wherein they now have to really engage the core in order to get their slow steps inching their way to the edge there, as you can
Yeah, yeah,
see.
yeah. So the trick is starting with your foot already
Yeah,
shuffled
that's
quite to
right.
the right
That's right.
already. So you don't have to do a lot of the shuffling motion.
Yeah. Okay, so right now I feel perhaps her energy is
Come on,
still quite
Sandy.
in the mode of maybe a very dynamic feel or sequence. So her attempts so far move that she's moving a bit faster.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
She
So
gets it,
now
and now
she's
she's
yep,
transitioning to
she's
the pentagon.
yeah, there she's got the rhythm.
Oh!
And now she's got the move right with a very, very dynamic looking drop. Also have great commitment there. And look at that. She catches
Very
the
nice.
lower part of that
Easily
dome.
gets the zone, uses it
Yeah.
to move to the crack.
And Sandy Key
Gets
on
her
the
toe on that
And
jib.
will she do a oh my gosh! She moved quite fast on this one.
Shake it off.
But again, I gotta hand it to her. She's got high commitment
You got it, Sandy.
skill on her in her arsenal, so it's really good. It's a really solid thing to keep, especially as a young no climber. So
Come on, Sandy.
there.
You
So I
got
think
it.
she's gonna start a little bit on the closer part of the edge. I think a while ago she was starting at the center. So it kind of gives her lesser time on that bar. So she can get the momentum starting.
You got it.
So in some ways, perhaps the starting position could also be like you're not really um, like a straight standing. You can actually maybe either be on a tripod stance where your right foot's already really close to that bar edge. So you can just do a one step and then commit to that tilt.
All right. Here she's getting the crack again.
Oh my goodness.
Almost
Got-
slips off, but
Oh, come on,
fights
come on.
for the position.
There.
And Sandy's going for the top hold. So she just needs to do it a bit, I think, slower, like all the other ones we
Yeah.
stopped.
That's
They
right.
didn't really rush the last part. It's a bit of a delicate type of rockover movement.
That's right.
There we go. Yes.
There. She just needs to hold that strength. Come on. A little tilt up.
Oh.
No.
Sandy Key on her first well then made. I call
It's
back.
okay. It's okay.
Great attempt by Sandy Key there.
Yeah, that's right.
Almost got it.
Grabe. First problem pa lang. Action na.
Very exciting setting here for
Indeed,
the
yeah.
With a bit of a technical
women's
difficulty.
intermediate finals.
That's right. We have to thank Ambrose Giac and all the route setting team for creating this wonderful set of finals for the intermediate women's category. He's here right now with us, actually, by the benches, observing, carefully observing um, the how the climbers are going to interpret this. I feel they also, as route setters, they do have a responsibility to kind of analyze how they how it's like an equal part climbability, equal part challenge
Yeah.
for the competitor.
So one thing that was mentioned by Purge was one of the challenges of setting for the women's intermediate um, is they need to gauge the level of these climbers, and a lot of them are new, so the setters don't really know the level of these
Yeah,
climbers.
yeah.
So they kind of have to make their best guess on what problems could be solved and what problems would be very hard for them, because they need to mix in doable and very difficult problems to challenge these
Oh, of
competitors.
course, that is for certain. Again, you do have to go. How do I explain this? You're going to go through like a multiple number of problems in a span of, how like 4 minutes each, right? So it's really you're right about the combination. Sometimes there are also things where a route setter also creates a combination where they also tune it to the to how the climbers, whatever the forte is, and then sometimes they'll spot the weak, and that is what they might even attack on on one particular problem. They won't go for all, right? That's me, but they'll try to surprise the climbers by pointing out a problem that might actually be something that will challenge them based on perhaps a weakness or something, a move that they don't often do. So they'll end up learning it on the
Yeah.
fly during the round. So I think, are we done? Are we waiting for anyone else? Yeah, no, I think we're done. I mean, for this first problem. Oh, wait.
So right now we're just waiting for W2. Um, I mean, we're waiting for the climbing to begin for W2. I think they're just prepping some things in the background. So let's.
So I think our problem
Alright, will
is
be a bit of an announcement before we start with our
W2, the pink
reg
line by the
enters
roof.
start
Oh,
at 10:35
but we'll see that later in a bit.
a.m. Registration closes at 11:30. Just a reminder for internet, reg will start at 10:35 and internet will close at 11:30.
And we're going back to live.
All right, just bear with us a little bit. Just prepping W2. So, well, the camera's not focused on W2. Maybe uh, I'll just walk the audience through it a bit. So, W1, we've seen some slab climbing, and slab climbing is when the angle of the wall is
On a slab.
how would you say it? What is the correct term to describe a slab? So it's not overhung. So that means when you're on the wall, your body kind of automatically leans into the wall, um, making certain holds easier to step on. Um, requires a lot more balance. It doesn't require too much upper body strength. Um, but when we proceed to women's problem number two, it becomes an overhang. So look at that. Look at the angle of that. These these types of routes typically require a lot of upper body strength. It taxes the shoulders, the back, the core to keep your feet on the holds without swinging out. So we see the pink holds here. They're quite large. I wouldn't. I would call some of them jugs, but some of them aren't extremely in cut.
Yeah, that is right. So, just to follow up on what Beato mentioned, says W1 is a slab, so it actually requires more of your lower body to work because it's really a test of balance. Now we have here on W2, we are now on a quite a more contrasting angle than the slab, which is a roof section. So this area is the left side of the comp wall. And what we have are these pink holes that are semi-dual text but also semi-wide pinches. So what do we mean by pinches, Beato? These are pinches where
So think of a crab, right? What does a crab do?
yeah,
It pinches.
there yeah. So basically the hand that moves for this particular hold is kind of shaped as like a crab claw, wherein four fingers are enclosed and you have your thumb underneath, and that's how you hold the grip like a pinch.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like when your tita, when you were a baby and your tita finds you cute, what do they do to you? They pinch you.
Yeah, the more extreme version of a pinch na ano. Like this is the one where they pinch the belly rather than pinch the cheek. If you think
Angelica
about it, they
Camacho.
so this time around you'll see
Again,
this
the
is
second
this
problem is
perhaps I
mistake.
think
Problem
from
number
how I
one.
am reading this
Please make eye
route, this will
contact
be
with
a
your
test of
coach.
a bit of power this time around. So there will be two of those later in W3 as well. But this one will
Come
be
on, Macho.
more on power with also contact strength because you do not really see much give on the handhold.
Oh, here
Okay.
we go. Just a 2 point start. Sorry, a two
It's
hold start. So
yes, a
2 feet must be on the bottom hold.
yes. So in terms of limbs, it has to be 4 points. Oh
Yeah.
wow. So I this is also quite interesting. There was already power at the beginning of the problem, where Miss Angelica, as she was trying to stabilize, well, did not totally engage the cord immediately enough. So her swing was not enough to catch the second hold. So from that point alone, you'll see that the angle, or maybe you won't see it from the screen as well, but here in that angle right there, you'll notice it's already a sustained angle. So it's quite
Yeah, it's a very aggressive
yeah.
angle. What do you think the measurement of that is in degrees?
Ooh,
You know, it looks like the bouldering wall in Tantan
Got it, Nacho.
Sora.
Come on. You got
perhaps.
it. You got it.
I maybe like around that 20. I don't give me no numbers, sir.
All right.
But basically, any angle that looks like that, and for this problem, our favorite
Yeah,
word,
maybe 30 or
yeah,
something.
is yep,
30 degrees or
yes,
35.
correct. And so usually the feel of that wall face in particular definitely needs for you to flex not only just your upper arms and legs, even the core. It has to,
Hmm.
in in a rough sense, you gotta hold your breath to keep the core locked in, and at the same time you gotta. But so far, this starting hold is also quite a semi-wide um, grip, so it'll also feel unsure right now.
Yeah. If you notice, she skates off the wall when she's trying to reach for the right hand hold.
Yeah, yes.
And this is connected to what Ikai was saying a while ago, where you need core strength to keep you close to the wall, to keep your feet on the wall. So when you're doing that move, you need to go into the wall and not out.
That's right. So perhaps
There, see, you can see her body like being spit out by that aggressive angle.
yeah. So I'm wondering if perhaps the move let's see. Okay, so she's thinking of her next strategy. She's got it, I think. I hope she's keeping her hands on the match hold closer to the going towards the second hold, and that's actually pretty good. She is trying to give herself a shorter distance, so that's also a good strategy. You don't necessarily have to hold just the center all the time at the start. You can always set your angle in order to get your timing right. Okay.
Valiant efforts here by Macho.
Yes, that's right. Oh, I think if I'm not mistaken, the starting hold, that hand hold right there, the lower part, the bottom part of that hold, I think it's a smooth texture. So you'll notice that she is only gripping just the 2/3 of the way. Okay, just 2/3 of that hold. That's the only rough part, and then the rest of it is already smooth.
So this W2 problem is a big contrast to W1. It's basically the opposite style of climbing.
It's
Big, powerful moves.
come on, Angelica.
A round of applause for Nacho, guys.
Oh, thank you, Angelica. So now it's
Welcome
another
back,
quick brush.
Choleng
So now we
Ignacio!
have Choleng Ignacio. I am wondering what she will be doing for for this round.
Come on, Choleng.
One-on-one dance.
Alright, timer start.
Okay. Ready? And I'm going to bond. 3, 2, 1, I'm on bond.
Choling taking some time to read the route here.
Basa ka lang.
Nice one.
Yan ang support na kailangan. Akala climber.
Let's see if how she starts this problem.
Right, she's giving her arms a bit of a shake. She knows this is going to be a bit of a more powerful swing going out of the wall.
Ooh, sticks it on
She
the
got it.
first
She
try.
picked up that mode. And
Nice
she,
move by Choling
yep,
Ignacio.
she did a heel hook on the starting hand hold and got the cycle on the third move. Let's go.
Come on, Chole.
Oh, and another toe hook. That's good.
Wow, she gets the
Nice.
zone. Let's go, Choleng.
She's definitely keeping her body close to the wall. No cut loose. Getting that power move right. That
Very
is a
good.
solid.
Very good technique by Choleng here, and lots of power being demonstrated.
That's right. She's trying to.
Ooh.
Oh.
That's probably the most aggressive angle of that route.
That's right. But she did such the move so effectively without straining her arms whatsoever by doing heel hooks and toe hooks. So what those do would definitely keep her close to the wall as much as possible. Um, slightly preserving any arm grip strain that she is going through, especially with those side pull pinches. There would be another beta that would be just all cut loose if you think about it, but no, she didn't do that whatsoever. She did the best technique. I mean, the best technique for her to keep on the wall. However, I think my guess would be here with, I think perhaps going towards the last hold, this is where she might really have to cut loose. I don't think she might really need that toe hook on the right. It's like now a big one last committing push and then catch the pinch. She's done. So let's see. I am super psyched that she's gotten past that move. She's got like really strong grip strength there on that second hand hold.
Come on, Chole. You got it.
Nice.
Go Sorel.
And here she is with a heel, taking weight off those arms.
Full grips on
Oh,
that
this is a
one.
pretty heavy move if she does it the same way she did it before.
Yeah.
Just kind of like a left
Oh
stun.
no. She did catch that hold after the zone.
Yeah,
with
yeah,
that
she did. She did. She used the left stun. It was a very heavy looking move.
Oh yeah.
I'm wondering if they intended it to be a cross, or was it really a stun?
Alright, Chole. You got it.
What do you think?
From what?
Left hand or a right hand cross?
Have this changed? Ah, okay. When I saw her kasi put her left foot onto the foothold, it did feel right to do a left hand on it.
Uh-huh.
But then you're going to have to change foot and adjust to get to the pin, to get to a match. But I think I recall that if ever, you could also do a cross. But ideally, that would mean your foothold still on the much lower foothold. So you have more of a lock off on the zone, and that you're letting your upper body like powerfully twist to catch the thinner part of that pinch.
And we have Abby Arungayan coming out, bib 403.
Actually, don't you think of it? Me and Andy make videos this time this kind of weight. And the Abby.
Oh. Yes, so we have our climber from Iloilo, Miss Abby Arungayan.
Very solid.
Wow, she's flying up that wall.
She did her starting hold confidently. That's really nice. And there we have it. Let's see.
Obviously, power is not a problem for Abby.
Come on, Abby.
Wow, there you go.
And she
Beautiful
did a
pinch.
cross match. That's it. Nicely done. And now she just needs to push on that final hold commit.
Oh!
She gets it. She gets
Gets the
it.
top hold. She just needs a match. And the first stop of W2 goes to Abby Arungayan.
Nice one, Abby. So good. Yes, you know what? That girl does quite pack a punch. That was her first attempt.
That was a flash right there.
Yes, that was a flash, and I feel that might have been her forte. Looking at it, she breezed through the inclinations of this wall like it was a
Yeah.
flat wall. And then she got the footholds working for her with her movement, and did a really beautiful double match. A really beautiful cross match rather on the last
Exactly.
one. and
Na-
knew that she needed to commit by a cut loose on the final hold.
And now we have Alexine Cruz Herrera starting W2.
Yeah, she got the weather, the momentum right for it, so it's all good. Now she has to trust and catch the side post. There, come on.
Looking very comfortable in those holds.
That's
On that,
right.
on that angle.
Doing
Now
a
she's going for
strong.
the zone.
Yep, she's doing a strong heel hook. Let's see how she. Oh, she's actually putting both her feet up so that she's closer towards the wall. Come on. There.
Oh, very nice. She gets the
Nice.
zone.
Nice fight right there. Let's see. Come on. Which hand will she pick for this grip? Come on, trust it. Let's go.
And will she do the same beta? Oh, right. So left hand.
There. That's
Very
a
nice.
solid flex on the shoulders. Now she's doing a change foot. Oh no! But that was so close. That was so
That was
close.
very
for
good
Alexine.
first attempt here by
Yeah.
Alexine.
Very strong fighter with this one.
She was trying a toe hook actually with the hold below the zone.
Yeah, that's
Wonder
right.
if that would work.
So wala na yung signage namin ng Academy. Again, this is Alexine Cruz Herrera.
Perhaps on a
Starting out very strong.
perhaps on a longer build of a person, feeling you will definitely feel more of the weight when you're on that inclination. Therefore, you're going to instinctively find a foothold for your free foot
Right.
to give you that extra anchor. So perhaps maybe that was her mindset, that she needed that toe hook to lock her in, that, and in order to get that, to carefully get that cross match. But looking comfortable this time on the starting sequence. She knows what she needs to do. She's felt it. Okay, now it's just a matter of the last two holes. She will need to push through it. Come on, Alexia.
Very nice. Okay. Oh,
It's okay, it's okay. So that zone hold definitely feels a bit of a trap because especially you're coming from that roof section, you don't really see that. You can't really predict that end point. So it's another trusting move right there. And it's also quite a shallow feature as well.
yeah. It's not really a jog. It's a a pinch,
Yeah, a pinch where
a shallow-ish
it's like
pinch.
her fingers are super jammed to the inner part of that hold. There's no in cut that you can just let your finger pads.
Yeah, I
really
guess
grip
it's like a
to.
slopey pinch, you would say, right?
Yeah.
So the thing with pinches, I think, is that unlike crimps, you're actually using a lot more of your thumb.
Mm-hmm.
And if your thumb is weak, you wouldn't be able to hold on to these pinches. So climbers need to train it specifically, right? With
That's
pinch
right.
blocks or climbing pinch routes.
Correct.
But it is different from crimp strength.
That's true. Somehow to follow up with the pinches also, you really have to definitely take care of strengthening your pinky and your thumb. Sometimes as climbers, our main powerhouse fingers are from the index towards the ring finger, you will
Yeah.
notice. But the more, I guess, over time, you'll definitely feel that the thumb will be your best friend. And even your pinky, especially in open holds. Thank you so much, Alexine. So it's another quick brush right there.
And now we have bib 409 Ja Orna coming out to try W2.
Yeah.
So interesting factoid is so since Ja is a beehive climber, I asked her if she was going to compete during nationals, and her answer was no. She didn't want to compete. But last minute, I think a couple of their members of their barkada just joined. So well, here she is. It's great.
Yeah, actually, I am glad she chose to join. Just because she is such a great performer with regards to the comp scene, to the comp format. Ever since she started, ever since she started, definitely knew that from the get she's got to go through the comps to gain the experience. Again, there are times where in a comp you don't really get to try a problem. you know,
Gets
on
the
repeat.
zone.
Oh, yeah, that's true. So there we have it. She is performing just as she can. Really,
Oh!
really strong and really, really lively as well. So she got she got her energy up.
Ano na yung mga to? Do not give instructions to our climbers. They know what they're doing. Ang approved cheers.
All
Papasahin
right,
ako
so
mga
Ja taking some time to reassess the route. Okay, so we've seen a really good first attempt by Ja Orna. She was able to get the zone, but wasn't able to move on from there. Let's see if she can get. I think this is the crux move, right?
Oh, she got it. She's very
Oh,
confident.
wow.
She got the grip. Oh. At
Just slips off, but she gets the right beta very quickly.
my God talaga! Let's go, Jack! Dami ba time? Dami ba time?
as it should be. Every attempt is your better attempt. So she's gotten to the second to the last hold this time around. And that's very, very good. She got comfortable catching the zone hold, and she got almost comfortable in the second to the last one. So it's okay. She's actually like moving a lot faster at the time, so that's also a good time. So let's see. She just has to rest it out. The inclinations of this problem is also quite taxing on the upper body, particularly, and they are watching out for that because they still have two problems to go. You know,
Yeah, so
yeah,
there are
she's
four problems for finals.
yeah, that's right.
Come on,
I
Jack.
think I don't see another problem, at least from my perspective. I think there are
No,
just four.
yep.
And
I've
there are two
counted. You got.
slaps and two
Ano, Jack?
Okay, she's back again. Oops. Okay,
Take it off, take it off. You got it.
so she's got a minute left on the clock, and as the competitor, sometimes um, 4 minutes
Come on, Jack.
is more than enough time when you're on stage. You will not feel rushed whatsoever. You will actually think it's an hour sometimes.
you get hyper focused when you're in competition
Yeah,
mode.
time slows down when you're the one on the wall.
Dance it out. Kaya mo, isa na din. Come on.
It's also great
You got
that
it. You got it,
you
Jack.
also that there are these competitions, and for those that also learn to choose to join,
Come on, Jack.
it helps them kind of
Kaya mo yan, kaya.
um, learn to train the move, to train the
Alright,
nerves.
round of applause for Jack. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Great try.
Yeah,
Great job,
great
Orna.
job for Ja.
Can we please
So I think
welcome back Sandy?
for me anyway, when it comes to if you're a regular competitor, it's actually great to train that mental. I'm looking for the word, the mental tolerance for nerves and fear.
Yeah, I guess your mental game. You need to bring your mental A game.
Yeah, that's right. So
Pump.
then now we have Sandy Key.
Yep, bib 404.
Yes, our last timer for the second problem. Now, not everyone has the confidence of a performer, especially in this type of format, but that's what comps are here for anyway. So I guess you could say like World Cup athletes are like, you'd think they're all always confident, like, oh, I'm just gonna join World Cup, nothing. Perhaps it's not really the case. They've just gone through so many World Cup, comp experiences for them to get used to the routine of preparing, going into isolation, working up feeling the nerves and trying to contain it and channeling it into a performance energy that they can provide during their category. So like we have Sandy. Right now I feel like she's more than confident. I mean, I feel she is more than confident, not as stressed as us for sure in terms of comp mode. She's looking into getting her grip right on that starting hole and
Ano, Sandy?
feeling her way to the vuelo that she needs for that second problem.
On na yun.
Come on, Sandy. You got it. Sandy. Sandy to recommend one of our sponsors, Whale Co. Shout out to Whale. Thank you for supporting the climbing community.
All right.
Come on,
So
guys.
everyone cheering Sandy on as she goes
And
for the
Sandy.
first big move.
Oh.
Come
All right. She's trying to find
on,
her
Sandy.
momentum here with the two flat, sorry, with the two pinches
Come on.
starting hold.
Ooh, that's not the. Actually,
And
that will count
Sandy.
as one
Come
attempt.
on,
I
come
think.
on.
If does that count as one attempt if you touch the holds?
I'll confirm with you
Not.
in a
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
Right.
You
But
can
from what
ask
I,
for
but
what you can needed.
anyway, let's see if that will be called by the judges. But
Come
it's
on,
no, it's
Sandy.
apparently no big deal for our Miss Thing, because she is still figuring out how to work this move going to the second hold. Right now, she's doing a bit of a brush work. There have been around like five other competitors that have gone through it, so understandably,
Come on,
a lot of chalk
Sandy.
buildup will go into the starting hold. So with that kind of hold, chalk's not really your best friend at this point. So you gotta clean it as much as you can, so you can get the texture out. Oof. I think
Come on, Sandy. You got
she's
it. You
trying to
got it.
feel the
Answer.
how deep she
Right, a round of
has to
applause
jam her hand on that second hold, but she didn't quite catch it. So we have the two other problems left to go. So I think
Yeah. Next we will head over to W3,
for
which
the
is on
beginning
the
of the next
leftmost side of
yeah
the comp
leftmost
wall,
side
the
of the
comp
comp
roof
wall
wall.
special
Yep.
shout out to our
So we have
nationals
with the
qualifiers.
super volume. So it's
Brothers,
quite exciting. This is the
yeah,
route that Purge set, one
rushers,
of our
thank you
local
so much.
settlers
Of course,
yeah.
and
at
of course,
Urban
the
Peak.
media team, a world-class screening
Who's
time
also a
team
former
with our
competitive
media team
athlete,
and
actually, a
everything.
former
Ah, yes.
competitive climber.
That's right. And I think this is also a problem that consists of a few blue pill open holds. Also, I think
Oh,
this time around,
W3 is yeah.
yeah,
Blue
W3.
pill. Are
Oh
there
no,
blue pill
sorry.
holds? No.
Um, I
They're the
stand
pink dual
corrected.
text
I stand
holds.
corrected. W3 is the pink and white one.
Yeah.
Good angle on that later on. So it's on the vertical wall with the pink and white holds. Also another dual text.
I'm
Um,
hoping the people outside, I see some
so
finalists.
let's see.
I'm hoping you guys have already registered. Kung pwede nyo itap, pakisabihan ko yung mga nasa grade. Paano naman? So Jack will be given another chance to try out
Yeah.
women's one
Josh
song.
going back to women's one for another try.
So we have an update right now. I think
You will be given 30 seconds to
Ja
attempt
will
women's one.
um, Angelia Orna will have to
I have this vacancy
try
in the waiting
on
center.
women's one once
And we're
again.
waiting until
Yung
Um,
everyone is going
transition
to
daw,
proceed.
paulit-ulit. Parang
so
pwede
this is
siya
gonna be interesting as to, and we will update you later on. on what will happen next for Miss Ja Orna and her attempt on W1. So she's coming back again with a spring in her step.
Come on, round of applause for Jack, guys. So your hands on the clock for Jack. She's repeating. She's given 30 seconds to repeat movements one due to some technical difficulties on how she sent it on the first try.
Oh,
For our
okay.
audience's info,
So there was a bit of a
there are parts of
technical
the hold,
difficulty.
especially during finals, that you're not supposed to hold. And in this case, she held a part of it.
I see. So,
Thank you so much, Jack. Thank you, thank you. Uh, Next up, on women's team, so our next problem will be here on the left side of the chalkboard. So if the audiences would want to shift
so
over to
I'm
the
back.
right
Hi,
side,
hello. Just
ladies,
just a
welcome
quick
back.
update. They
Angelica
let Angelia
Camacho.
Orna try to do the first problem once again, just to confirm a specific thing in a specific move that
The
was
first
happening,
problem is
where I
this
think
flip
there was a
and point
technical
problem.
difficulty
The left
where
side of your
I
face.
think she might have
Guys,
held
coming off from personal experience,
a part of the
these
wall
can be fun
that wasn't
or
included or
quite
that's not
interesting.
counted into the problem perhaps, but we'll see. We will see if it will be counted still. We maybe have to check the scoreboards later on, but since there are two more problems to go, the
Expecting a lot
scores
of
will
fun
still
for
be
the
a bit
technical
mixed up.
experts.
So
Trying to get a
I hope it
feel
will not
of some of the
deter from
riders here
her
in Beehive and
progress
they
in the
either love
ranks.
or hate
Let's
these goals.
hope for the
So
best with
let's
this one. Anyway, she shook it off.
experience.
She a chill pill. She's good,
So for the
good to go.
audience's
And
info,
now we
the
proceed
holds,
to
unlike the
our
other
third problem on
holds on
the
the wall, have
leftmost
two
side, which
parts
is
to
the
it, a
vertical
rough
wall.
part and a
Yeah,
shiny part.
Angelica
So
Camacho.
of course,
Yes,
the shiny part or the
our
slippery
queen
part
from UP Grip. So it's a 4 point
you
start
will
once
need to get
again with
around on
three
how to
holds,
hold your step on the moves.
and the spherical
Again,
holds
this is
to be
Angelica
exact.
Camacho. Let's cheer for her,
Okay.
guys.
So again, it's another
Camacho.
dual textured combination of holds this time around. Now it's like more than half of the hole is on the smooth side, and there's only the upper part of the hole that is rough. Okay. Now I'd also like to highlight a feature
Come
of
on,
this
Nacho.
setup. You will notice, if you can look closely, you will notice that there is a black tape dividing W3 and W4.
Come on, Nacho.
Now,
You got it. You got it.
just for your information, the black tape indicates, or it's actually, according to the setters, it's called the demarcation line. So, what that means is, no, you cannot go
Got
past
it,
that
Nacho. Come
line
on.
for any problem that's close to it. So
Got
for
it.
W3, um, your foot, if your foot or your hand goes out past the demarcation line, they will count it as an attempt. Okay, they will not. Sorry, they will add it to. Well, it again, it will kind of wreck your points system, if you will. So, but in this case, the demarcation line will not really affect the W3 problem whatsoever, as it is going towards the left anyway. So, I think according to the setters, this line in particular, this black tape, is specifically made for the final problem.
Come on, Nacho. Come on, Nacho. And that is the 1 minute mark. You got it. Come on. Grabe naman to start. Ayun. Pangit pa panty. Come
So
on.
this problem, I talked to the setter a while ago, and this problem is
Add it.
it's very dependent on body position. It's not a strength
We
problem.
already set up timers and already timed
So
this.
the wall angle is
We're doing the
slightly
best of the best
overhung.
of their
So you
kind
need
for
to
you.
make the best use of
Come on.
positioning your body under those, or at least into the wall
Add it,
using
Nacho.
those slopers. So Ikay, Maybe you can tell our audience a bit about what slopers are and how best to position your body under them, especially in the context of that problem.
Okay. So, so here's my best take on it. So, okay, thank you, Camacho. In the meantime, while they're brushing, the slopers are quite a more open hold, as you can see, compared to a pinch where, again, as we described it as a crab claw. This one is you will use your open palm. You will use your full hand on it, and sometimes the bigger the sloper, you might even it will might require you to immediately engage your upper arm strength just to more or less hug the hold. So we have Choleng Ignacio right here on the third problem, and while she's reading it, you will notice that the starting holds are these two. Again, back to the two spherical holds. It's You'll notice that her hands are it's just her palm pressing
There we
on
go.
to the hold, especially with that higher one.
So the name of the game here is putting as much as of your
Yep.
hand as you can on those slopers, and she moves past it.
Yeah, she's got it.
Oh, very nice climbing here by Chole.
She's got the zone. She's feeling. Is she getting the zone? She's
Oh,
almost
she
getting
gets
it, and
the
she got
zone.
it. Okay.
Amazing work by Choling.
My term a while ago is she's in the zone. She's getting in the zone a while ago, and now we have her getting the zone hold. So come on, Choling.
So this is the first crux here.
Yeah, that's right. Looking at that, chalking up with finesse, with a very stable foot position on that elongated pyramid volume. Now she has to keep her core tight and try to shift her hands onto those two splices of a crimp, a dual text crimp. So as you'll notice, as an indicator of texture, I will mention that the spherical holes, the rough part there is the pink section, which is like less than half of the hold, and the white part is the smooth section. Now you'll notice or rather, Beata, what did you think of how she should be gripping the zone hold area?
So the interesting thing about the zone hold is you have two holes that are set close to each other, so they're blocking each other, right?
Yeah.
The white spots aren't that great. You can't really grip it, even if you're really strong. Your hands are gonna
Oh, no.
slide
Oh,
right
no.
off. So if you look at the top part, you can see a little slice of pink, and that's where you put your fingers. And also on the bottom, which we can't see, is there's also another little slice of pink.
Yeah, that's right.
So she needs to crimp on those and position her legs and her body. She needs to get one of her feet on the lower on the highest ball
Yeah, that's
for her
right.
to get
That
the
is
last
right.
hole.
You see that full crimp action there with all her fingers on the pink texture.
There we go.
And she's doing a good shift of weight to the left. And mantling on the higher half ball that's on the volume. Okay.
Yeah, very dependent on body
Yeah.
position here.
She's got her
Oh,
game face
there we
mode
go.
on. There, she's got it. Stable.
What do you match?
Okay, so now it's a matter of how to transfer weight. Oh! Oh!
I think she'll need to drop her left knee to the other side.
Drop her left knee. Oh, you mean like tilt it close to the surface of the volume?
Kind of like twist it to the right.
Ah.
So because the last hold is the last hold is similar to the zone hold, but it's bigger.
Right. However, I do feel like perhaps where her left hand is on the upper and her right hand on the lower, right? Perhaps if her right was on the cross.
Oh, she needs to switch her hands.
Yes, she might
Yeah.
need to switch her hands in order to do that twisting momentum. Because right now, the moment that she did that sort of double gaston, and with her position that she was currently in a squat, you can't exactly twist out.
Right.
So I think she does have to
Change her
adjust her
hands.
hands a little bit in order to give her legs a bit more space. So now we have Abby Rungayan on on the third problem. Breezing through the start, she got the read right on it
Move on, I'm gonna move on.
with
Close up.
really powerful grip strength. This girl,
Fingers,
okay,
nice. You don't have fingers.
so she's
There, she's at the zone. And now let's see if she can figure out what Ika was talking about.
there.
The
So
correct hand position.
that's right. Looking at her stance right now, she is
There we
also
go.
she's comfortably standing
Alright, come on,
on
Abby.
the
Nice and
holds.
long.
You're proud of you guys, come on.
She's shifted there. She's properly shifted her body to the right
Very
side,
nice.
to the left side of the hold, and got the lower part of the final hold. Okay, that was it. So I think with the position of the two Gastons, we now see that you need to trust your left foot tilting all the way to the left.
Also, it's a rockover.
It's a
Yeah.
very extreme rock over, and with the support of your double Gaston grip,
Right.
you're also pushing that rock over downward. And from there, once you feel that stable, you also have to trust the texture, by the way. If you do a little bit of a crouch from that kneeling position towards a bit of a lifted crouch, you can be able to balance and get that final hold.
Right.
And well, because it's also on a more positive angle, if you can like again back to the tilting, lean on that final hold and match.
We also have Whale Nutrition Program.
All right, so
Oh, we have
our
Alexi
Come on.
Cruz Herrera, bib 407. Wow, easily
Yeah, she's
getting through the midsection of this
a really
climb.
powerful rock over there at the start. She did it so well. Very good, Queen.
Alright, come on.
I'm gonna go to Vaughn for the strip.
Oh, nice.
Okay, I think she's thinking whether or not she'll be doing a cross with that or a double gaston. Yes, she did get that cross by putting her foot higher on one of the higher starting holds a while back. That's solid. She definitely does have a reach enough to try and get the last hold from there if she could, but let's see.
Wow, that's an
Okay.
interesting
Yeah.
attempt.
Up.
Oh, she gets it, but she needs to match.
No, it was a finger pad. Just a finger pad holding that edge.
Cheaper, guys.
Though I did notice that if she could, let's see, I don't know, but maybe her left foot stance could go just a little bit higher, maybe a few inches higher. She might be able to reach it just from that position alone. So let's see. Let us see. She is, I think perhaps within the group, probably on the taller side.
Yeah, I think she's the taller,
Yeah.
one of the tallest of the contestants today.
That's right. So she can definitely take advantage of that height
Yeah.
and arm span.
Come on, Alexi.
So she might not really need to do a really like heavy grip, heavy footwork on those two higher dual text spheres. So let's see.
Alexi going for another attempt.
Come on.
Looking very strong there.
There, okay. So I think she's
Adjusting.
Come on, Alexi.
finding. Yeah, that's it. Oh, a really strong leg. There, you got that. You got the muscles flexing. You go, Alexine. You go. Nice. There you go. Okay, come on.
I think she really needs to get that foot up.
It's so close. Her hand is so close.
Come on, Alexi. Come on.
When you matched it.
Bring those guns out, girl. You got this. Come on. Look at that. She's also really finding her way here through the sequence. Definitely presenting different
She really needs to get that left foot higher. I think it's
yeah,
too low.
that's right. I feel perhaps right now her current mindset is just really hoping not to go way too high as she might it might be too cramped.
Round of applause for
But
Alexis.
I think that's all right.
Please welcome
Okay,
back
though.
Jack
That was still an
Orno.
impressive
Come on,
attempt.
Jack.
Now we have
Come
coming
on,
out. We
Jack.
have Ja Orna,
Yes.
409.
All right.
Oh, wala ka bon.
We've seen some pretty good attempts for W1 and W2.
Timer
W3
starts.
is
Come
definitely
on,
a
Jack.
different type of climbing.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
The first two we've seen. So
So
a
for
lot of
women's first
variety for
qualifier, she got a 13
the
second
set for
additional
inter-women's.
time on the first problem. There were some technicalities
The
on
view
her
also
side.
between
We want to
competitor
go
and
to
the problem is also very interesting, almost like a David and
Come on,
Goliath
Jack.
feel.
You got it.
But it's also really badass once they, let's say they get to the top. It's like they've defied gravity, if you will. So they read the starting hold easily. As also Beehive regulars, they are very comfortable with the
Wow.
dual text. Oh,
She gets the
wow.
right beta on the first try.
Her
She's,
spatial reasoning.
Yeah,
Wow.
this is a good climb IQ. Now she just needs to be able to position her body closer to the
That's right.
wall.
Interesting getting that foot done
Wow,
right.
look at that.
Oh, and she catches
Wow.
it on her
A different
first
way of sending it.
time.
Very, very nicely done by
Strong,
Jack.
strong girl. Nice one, Ja.
Very good send. 3 points of contact and looked very stable in the last hold.
Maybe
She didn't even need the higher foothold, the higher.
she actually utilized all the handholds as her foothold, and it gave her such a good stance and stability for her to just not even look at reaching for the final hold. She was just like tapping it, and once she felt the texture, that was it, locked and loaded. That was very nice. So now we have our final climber on the third problem, Miss
It's
Sandy
really
Key.
nice to see the up and coming new generation of women climbers.
They're a
here.
whole kind of, they're a different kind of daring, I must say. But it's also probably been a while since we've seen a lot of the climbers really compete. So this is great. This is definitely a feast for us. And with that, thank you to all the competitors.
Yeah, now we have Sandy Key,
Ah,
404, making short work of the first section. Let's see if she can get to the zone hold without a problem.
Come on, Sandy. Got it.
perhaps another thing I think is an advantage maybe for this problem is rather when you're probably a bit more on the shorty side, the flexibility and the leg positioning is a lot lighter.
Yeah,
So like as we see here with Ja and Sandy,
Come on, Sandy.
that's okay, Sandy. That we see here that it's the
Expecting your squeeze to
rock
not give
over
data.
is a lot faster to do as opposed to maybe the limbs of a longer person where it becomes cramped.
right. So there are advantages and disadvantages
Yes.
to being shorter at tall climber,
Yes,
right?
yes. Shout out to the shorties out there.
Yeah, Ika is actually one of our strongest lead climbers before, and she's short, but she's really, really strong.
Yeah, so the mindset goes when it comes to competing. Well, this is what I learned from John Veloria as well at the time. We are aware of our personal weaknesses, especially when it comes to height. So we have to double train in some ways in order to compensate for what we cannot reach. So that was really a good thing for me. Like it motivated me better to find ways to exert more energy and I don't know, just find better footwork so I can be able to compete with the more leggier.
Wow, look at Sandy trying to
Oh.
get that last hold from that position.
That's right, that's right.
Time left on the clock. Come on.
But she's got time. She's got time. But yeah, Sandy is definitely one of our younger competitors that's got so much potential and power to do the competing format and even outdoors if she's into it, if she gets into it. So right now they're checking if just to see the start on and then there. That's it.
it's pretty evil how they blocked off the foothold on the bottom with a dual
Yeah.
texture, just to
I
force competitors to step on certain
That's
parts of
right. I
the.
tried to ask that as well. It's like perhaps they just didn't want to use the black tape on it, so they decided, okay, you know what, we'll just use that our one of our crimps with this pink and white set. It's all good though. They didn't necessarily need it anyway. And there you have it,
Sandy
Sandy
gets the
Key.
top.
She's got it locked on. She is
Sandy,
done.
Sandy cheats.
That is so
We
good.
will take
She's
a short break. Our crew centers will just fix something on the last moves.
Full sponsors.
all right, Sandy. Good
Meanwhile,
job.
let me give you a
So we now
rundown of what
have
rewards you're gonna get
one
if
more
you're
problem left, and I think they're going to.
after midnight tomorrow. The
I wonder
tournament
which
members
problem
are
they're
going
going
to
to
get
be
cash.
fixing this
Once you
time.
know,
Interesting.
Habang nag...
Okay, so looks like the ladder is set on the final problem. So this is the problem where it
for who is
consists
sixth
of
place, you'll get a wheel trainer
some
with
blue
gem
pill
pouch.
open
For
holds
second place, you'll get
and a
chocolates.
few
For fifth place, you'll get a wheel
elongated
trainer named
pyramid
chocolate. For third
volumes
place, you'll get
as
chocolates and
part of
pink
um,
bags. For fourth place,
the
you'll get
problem
wheel trainer
here
and a shirt.
on
All
our
for fifth place, and you'll get chocolates.
2023
For
Boulder
third place, you'll
Nationals
get
at
a
the
one
Beehive
tea
Gym
coffee
in
cup and
Circuit
wheel
Makati.
premix. Second place, you'll get one tea coffee cup, wheel premix, and chocolate tiny
So,
and
quick
one full set.
check of the current
The
rankings
winners
since
and
we're
the ones
down
who
to
will
our
get
last
winners of the
problem
first
of
place will
the
get
inter
national
women's
wheel
leg
premix
of this
chocolate
competition.
tiny
So we have Abby Arungayan in
and
first place with three tops and three zones. Ja Orna in second place with one top and three zones. And we have Choleng Ignacio with one top and three zones as well, but more attempts to top. So yeah, right now it still can be anyone's game, but looks like Abby Arungayan is pretty much
Yeah.
in it to win it already. So very strong youth climber from Iloilo.
Yes.
Uh,
Thank you. Sige.
All right, we are live. We're back here at Beehive for the 2023 Boulder Nationals. We're currently in progress is the women's intermediate finals, and we have Abby Arunayan.
No, no.
Oh, sorry, Angelica Camacho on
One
W4.
last one.
My bad.
Again, the retailers are providing us with high quality
So
education.
as Ikay was mentioning before, they just had to fix something on W4, but it still looks like the same route, which is a very powerful overhang. So one of the hard moves here is getting over the lip and catching that dino.
Oh, wow. This is an interesting sequence now that
This one
I
officials are
see how it's
very
executed.
perceivable.
So Ikay, as a climber, as a competitive climber, do you like dinos? Do you like those kinds of moves? Are you particularly fond of them or good at them?
So the latter, I am not. But the former, I do because I love learning and feeling the jumps and swings like a little monkey, to be honest.
Like a monkey.
Yeah, there are modes where a dino just seems fun to try, and especially when you catch it like that in particular, it feels so victorious to catch it and get the swing and momentum right with that great lock on that catching hold. However, majority of the part when I learn a dino sucks just because the fall part is really like such a risky.
Oh, almost catches it. I think that's the right way to do it, right? With two hands.
That would be best, I suppose. Maybe perhaps also with the shape of the hole, that's
Yeah.
just quite a wide mouth of a jug.
That's a very good jug. So, for everyone listening in who doesn't really know much about climbing, a jug is the best kind of hold that you
That's
can
right.
hold. It's kind of like holding a water jug. It's that secure, like holding onto a door. Um,
The comfort that you get with the hole is basically that.
it's the easiest hold to hold on to, but it's hard because of the jump she has to do and the force of her body swinging out.
You'll also notice that it's the angle that's also quite tricky because you're coming from a start that's kind of keeping the next hold invisible.
Very nice, almost gets it.
So she has the, like I think from that angle you're only seeing the butt end of that huge jug.
Right, so you
Okay.
kind of have to like guesstimate the best
That's right.
where to put your hand once you get over once you jump out of the starting position.
Indeed. And so let's see, she's got the eye on the prize and she's
Very
got
nice.
it. She's got it.
Very nice climbing here by Angelica Camacho. Let's go,
Icon.
Macho.
Come on. Now
Let's
she
go,
has
Abs.
a. Oh, I
Angelica.
see.
Ale, ale.
She's got to get her. She got to get that on. Nice. She's got both hands on that big jug. You'll notice that big jug is a very deep hold with a good cut. So it really looks like a huge pocket with a very with a handle-like feature on its lip. So it really gives you an extra security on the fingers. Although at the moment she did get past the jug, that's so good. But at the moment, the next challenge in this route is to stop the momentum after that dyno in order to begin her power sequence all the way up until the end to the top.
Yeah, there's a lot of holds in that middle section. It's quite.
Oh no, thank you, Angelica Camacho. That was a valiant effort on the fourth problem.
We have Choleng Ignacio coming out.
Yeah, all right.
Did 406. So far, we've seen really good climbs come out of Cholen.
I have yet to see. We have yet to see her in a with a dynamic move. But she is one of the regulars during an Ale competition. So this Ale competition is an all women's cup supporting women, and it also helps them learn to be confident with climbing, especially in the comp format. So we have Ja and Thea as the spearhead um, queens of this event. So we have Choleng as one of their proteges, if you will. That and they learn a lot about climbing in the competitive scene, especially with moves as daring and as complex as this kind of Dino Star, perhaps. But let's let with Choleng right here, she definitely does have the reach. So perhaps the Dino might not have to be as wild. But let's see. Well, let's see what she will do. Again, there's no right or wrong on how intense you want to go through the jump. You can do a showman level version of it, or have a gentle but strong power.
Oh,
Right. I think she's trying to see if she could do like a one hand catch,
yeah, yeah.
a swing rather than a jump,
She was
like
trying
a
to get
dead
it with
point.
her right, was she?
Yeah.
A while
I
ago.
think she was. Oh, she did. She tried to get to the right. Not. Bali.
Come on, come
Let's
on.
see.
Okay.
Oh no, very nice. Ooh. And
Ah!
that swing is a bit hard to counter.
She's picking up a bit of the power on her vuelo, on her stance, on her foothold stance right there. To start, she's picking it up and she's feeling like she's gonna be catching it in the next few attempts. She got that smile on her face a while ago.
He's committing to the jump now. Oh, very nice.
Yes,
Colin gets it.
nicely done, nicely done. Now she's trying to stabilize. She's looking for a foothold right now to stop the swing. But look, she's checking in and she got the grip
Oh,
and got her foot
very
in
high
first.
feet by Choling here.
Great. Now that stops the swing and now she can
Oh,
proceed to moving. Come on, come on.
some interesting beta here by
Oh.
Choling. She's trying to use that foot for more leverage.
Oh.
Wow.
She got the momentum and the flex. What leg work from Miss Sonel
Oh.
Ignacio. Oh my gosh.
So where she fell off, that big blue pill hold is a sloper.
Yes, another pure texture, open palm grip kind of hold.
Yeah, for her to hold on to that, she needs a lot of her hand, number one, a lot of her hand on it and some weight to help push her hand down onto the sloper.
Oh my gosh. Oh, now that
Very tough, very
oh,
physical.
wow. Now she had that leg up to get her on the zone hold, which means, and then she suddenly has her right hand mantling, or getting her hand just slapping on that big pupil hold. Damn, she's basically magneted or like stuck onto that roof section. Now I think perhaps what will make it work with her right hand might need that she might need to lower her leg a little bit
Hmm.
in order for her to push a man, like slowly create a bit of space and push a mantle on that open hold. But you can't really grip it at all, so you need your palm to work for you and your shoulder to gauge that explosive move to push up.
And next up we have Abby Arungayan,
Yes,
our strong Ilonggo
yeah, our current score leader in the
Iloilo climber from Adventure Central.
that's right.
Our
So
current top scorer.
yeah, thank you. So you can find. Would you like to share the URL please for everyone just
Yeah.
in case?
So
So we have our live
well,
scores.
maybe while she's resting, or maybe okay. Um, yeah, let's watch her attempt first.
All right.
So she's going for the Ooh, going for a double dino, double latch. That's a pretty cool move. If she
Yeah.
can get it,
Oh, but
it'll
I think she
definitely
hit
be
her
less of a
head.
swing, but it's farther.
Yeah. Somehow the wide give.
Wow, amazing!
I'm sorry. I was worried for a bit there, but no, no, no. She got it. Brave girl, and she's also doing another swing. Or is she stopping?
Wow,
She's stopping. She
very
got her.
precise footwork
Yeah,
by Abby
wow.
here.
This is amazing. Come on, Abby.
I'm sure
Let's
making
go,
her
brave girl.
her friends and her family proud. Back in
And
Iloilo, easily
that's
get in
it.
the zone.
I think she's doing an interesting rock over this time. And instead of getting the hold on the right,
Yeah, yeah,
she's
yeah.
gonna catch the
Whoa!
on the left, which has a deeper in cut, a better in cut versus the one on the right side.
Just needs to get her right foot up and she will get that top.
Okay, a little bit of a body.
Amazing work.
Yeah!
Abby Arungayan with 4 tops.
Abby! Powerful queen, this one.
Good future for Philippine climbing right here. Abby has stopped all 4 problems.
Wow. Goals. She is goals right there. Now we have Alexine Herrera.
So strong, very strong climbers out here today.
That's so epic. Oh my gosh, Abby. So good, so good, so good. I am so impressed that she bravely did that Dino on
Right,
not.
and that was the nicest way to do that dyno because you don't swing out as much if you get the two holes instead of just the one big jog,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
It's farther, but it's more aesthetic as well.
Yeah. Perhaps, and it somehow she that dino did not look wild whatsoever. Once
Yeah,
she got
very
it,
controlled.
she was very stable after getting the right hand
I think
on.
that might have been the intended beta.
Perhaps, because I think if you did do a double dino on the bigger lip, it's almost like you're adding a twist, therefore
Yeah, it's more physical without
yes,
the right hold.
thank you. That is it. So again, we do have Alexine, and that with her strong shoulder, she was able to stop the swing from being
Oh,
too wild.
Alexine trying out the.
Sorry, she needs to go over for rock over and catch the next hold. I think she's
Oh.
reading that she wants to do a high step first.
Yeah, she's trying what Choling did. She's trying to. And she latches the zone. Very nice latch of the zone by Alexine.
All right, now she has to decide which open hold will she use. Will it be the right side or the left side? Come on, Alexine. What's your decision?
Oh, using that strength to get the
Confidently
sloper on the
pressing
right.
On the right. Yes, that's right.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a very physical move, very shouldery move to
Yeah.
get to to use the right blue pill.
That's true. I feel that maybe she might have wanted to do, since her foot was already planted on the sloper. This one, yeah, she was considering that she might be doing another mantle with her left foot up immediately on the in order to maybe do one big push and reach for that left hand hold. So let's see. Again, there's still a slight inclination on the root, however. So that will probably go against you, especially when you're going to try to do a mantle. You're also fighting the gravity
Yeah.
out of you.
Fighting gravity.
Already fighting the weight that you're carrying with putting your feet and your hand in that position, plus the inclination where you're also like keeping your body so close to the wall. So it's a lot. It's a lot to go through. I hope. I hope she does this. I hope she gets her root on. I wonder if she'll do something different this time or she'll stick to her beta. Let's see.
Ooh, nice latch.
Okay, yep.
Gets the dyno.
Confident. Love, love, love. Okay, she's gonna do that rock
And she's
over.
trying to get the zone again,
Yeah.
same way that she did it before, using that foot.
Just to keep that leg stable. There. I think she's gonna try to catch that crimp and do a pull. Oh,
Good fight, good fight. A round of applause for Alexine.
Great effort there by Alexine Herrera.
Next up,
and I think she is done.
And coming out, we have Ja Orna, bib 409, going to try the last problem of this women's finals. We've seen some high climbing IQ by Ja. Let's see if she can read it. And I wonder what kind of beta she'll pull off now.
And Jack's hold it is behind. You can see the comfortable these holds.
Oh, she's
Doing very
Okay, I
well.
think.
wow, trying a static move with that
Very
heel.
interesting right there.
Yeah, a heel hook
I think
to see if she can
I
reach
think the behind Jack
for
is
the
very
lip jug or
her
maybe
beginner
the
should have a
crimp.
very interesting data in her
I
times.
think she doesn't want to do the dyno. That's why she's trying the heel, a static move.
Yeah, perhaps in the first attempt, she was just seeing if there would be a chance.
Yeah,
Jack
yeah.
is attacking
As
this
a
one very
as a
nicely.
competitor, you also have to look for different ways
Very
to get around the
absolutely.
problem. So this is what we're seeing today,
Behind
where
regulars,
Ja
sometimes they
is
call certain data
testing
Jack's
the
data,
waters
but
initially
it's
because we
very
don't
different from
again
what they would
during
usually
the mass
do.
viewing prior to their climb, they don't
Check it
fully
out,
attempt
Jack!
they don't fully attempt it whatsoever. So that's why this is their time to just really play with what they got. If they're not,
Come on,
in a
Jack!
moment where you're not confident with the beta that you read on the first try, then go for it, experiment, right? And that's what she's doing already. It's okay. Again, like I said, you really can't see. I don't think I would be able to
You're not
immediately see
ready?
that jog
Yeah.
from that side. So
Come on!
the perspective is really like a bit daunting. Like you're trying.
Yeah.
So she's shaking off the nerves right now. She's getting it. She's getting it.
Add it, Jack! Come on! You got it, Jack! You got it!
Come on. Okay, she's trying to find her way. Come on. Oof.
Come on, Jack! Take it off! You got it! You got it!
And getting the crowd to cheer a little bit. Show her some support. Also, perhaps she might be feeling a bit dizzy. I don't know. She did have a pretty rough fall a while back on one attempt.
Well, from oh, she gets the dino. Ja Orna getting the dino.
That shake-off was worth the rest. Oh my
Oh,
gosh, but she
Ako na naman yung kasama mo, tapos tumatalon ka na naman.
she latched onto it. Come on, Ja. Well, we have to consider they're going through a lot. They went through like 3 other
yeah,
problems.
yeah. She's gotten a bit tired already. Everyone's
Perhaps.
tired by W4, I'm guessing.
Yeah, but it's all good. It is all good. She's got it
Very
once
nice
again.
dino.
And she's
Ja
got the
Orna.
right hand jump. She's got to stop the momentum a little bit. Oh,
You have
admittedly.
enough time. Come on.
Let's say, well, going back to the further thing I mentioned when it comes to dinos, it is also physically taxing. Once you latch on, the swing of the rest of your body is hard to really control. In a sense that you're also really gripping hard with from the swing. So anyway, you definitely have to let your core hold and stop that swing in order to get that foothold up and proceed to a more static flow.
I call back our last
So
climber
it's
for
all
this
right though.
category, Sandy.
Okay, so we have our final climber for our inter women's finals, Sandy Key. I do feel like if you were gonna climb this last hole, Jude, with your shoulder strength and your height, you could reach it in a more gentle, dynamic manner. I mean, not pabebe, but more of like it's not too explosive.
Yeah, I think like what we saw with Abby actually, right? You don't really need to do it violently.
Okay.
The swing. I'm talking about the swing. You don't need to swing out violently. You can just hop a little bit, gently catch it, and then control the swing.
Yeah. I do wonder how how solid her I don't know sense of perspective is, because that was such a confident catch. I gotta say as well for Miss Abby. So like again back like I guess you would do the same, and I feel like you would read the same as well. Where once you catch, when one hold is on the big lip, you'll be able to get that. Like same with the Miss Sandy.
Sandy Key sticking that double latch dyno.
I
Very strong finger strength there, holding on to that bad right hand crimp.
Yeah, I'd also like to point out when she did that dyno, she also utilized the momentum of the sideways swing to catch the right hand jump.
Gets the zone and it's
she
on the
got-
way to
yep,
the top.
She got
She gets the top and Sandy Key, oh no, cannot match the top hold. She almost got it. She's very, very, very close.
well. This is up her alley. I feel this problem, the moves. This is her jam. So things are looking up, and I think she's going to try once more.
So Sandy really needs this one because if she tops it, she automatically podiums. But if she doesn't podium. At least according to the temporary scoreboards right now.
Oh my goodness.
So this means a lot.
Ah, wired dino sequence for Sandy. Good job. Now, you gotta lock that zone move down. That's it.
Nice climb here by
Okay.
Sandy Key. And
Steady.
she's done this move before, so she knows she can do it.
Yeah, that's right. Come on, Sandy. Now she has to try to feel her way through.
No!
No.
Everyone's cheering Sandy on here at Beehive.
That's right.
A local favorite. She's having some trouble getting that top. I think she needs to position her feet a bit better in order for that top hold to be positive, right? Because the angle is to the right. So she needs some downward pressure.
Yeah, initially I feel she was probably trying to rely or you're looking into relying on just the grip strength of her right hand touching the top. Now, a while ago I think for the one that did catch the top, they apart from once they got their hand in contact with the final hold, Abby did a twist to counter the angle of the final hold, giving her that foothold that she needed to stabilize. So,
Great try by Sandy.
okay, that was Sandy.
Very, very close to the top.
And the end of our inter women's final. We have our root setters. We're back in action to reset the problems for the inter men's division.
So yeah, I think we'll be back after a quick break. So the setters are going to set some of the problems. Probably be back in around 30 minutes to an hour.
All right, that's right. So, any final thoughts on the inter women's final? What do you think about it?
It was amazing to watch. It was super exciting. But I think what really jumped out to me here is the setters tried to set different problems to test the different skills that you need to be a well-rounded climber. Dynamic movements, precise footwork with slabs, body positioning on W3, burliness on W2. So the person who shows all these qualities is the person who topped all four. And you'll know once we have the official results out, but like you could see how important it is to be a very well-rounded climber. You can't just stick to one style.
Yes, that again, our bouldering cup definitely presents us as to how as to pretty much explains what type of technique we should be learning if we do want to fully progress or level up in our own way somehow. I mean, we don't necessarily have to compete, but then I mean, it's also nice that as an audience member, as a spectator, you also see such a um, unique techniques, unique techniques on how they solve the problems, and kind of making it possible for us climbers to be like, hey, you know what, we can do these moves ourselves. Not only is it a test for our competitors, but it is a sort of education, if you will,
Yeah.
for us here in the audience area. And it might also encourage some of our climbers to try it out. Well, let's see if they're going to be putting all or a few of the comp routes back up into the gym here at the Beehive. So
Yeah, actually, what happened in previous competitions here at Beehive is that after the final day of competing,
right.
you'll be able to try some of the problems tonight. So come over to Beehive, I guess, and try out the problems later at like 8 or 9 p.m. You'll have like an hour or so to like try it. Did you bring your climbing gear, Ikay?
Oh, right now I don't think I really can
Oh yeah,
climb.
oh
So,
right, right, okay.
but it's all good. You can climb for me. So please, please, if this, sorry. So we have our scores, and let me confirm if this is official.
I think nothing is quite official yet,
Yeah.
but we
So
can
this
show
is
you
yes.
temporary scores. This might
Yeah.
change.
So for now, this is the current standing of our podium winners for the inter women's category. Okay, so we will see if this is going to be an official one later on. We'll confirm it. So again, let's go back to trying out the route. So again, Beato, if this blue W4 stays on, please, 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 you climb that for me. That's what I kind
Okay.
of want to try the most. Yes.
All right, all
Tuloy ba natin
right.
yung
So
animation na lumalabas?
All right. Well, our winner. Well, we have the route
Okay.
set.